Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis on August 22nd, 2022. I am going to discuss three articles editorials today. First one is First two articles are from the Hindu. The first one is titled Spirited Battle. The second one is titled Battle for Fight for Survival. And from the business line, I am going to discuss discredited committees. So let us look at one by one. The first I am going to take up is the spirited battle. This is with reference to the Central Bureau of Investigations finding that Manish Sisodia, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, has taken bribes for allotting the liquor license to the licensees. The Central Bureau of Investigation is about to charge sheet Manish Sisodia for taking bribes and involved in corruption charges with regard to the liquor license allotment of the Delhi government. This question of the CBI, this investigation of the CBI was ordered by the Delhi Chief, the Lieutenant General on July 21, because there was a report from the Chief Secretary that the liquor policy which was favoring the private parties and the licensees had paid hefty sums for getting the licenses. So, this forms the report of the Chief Secretary of Delhi, forms the basis of the decision by the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi to order probe into the CBI probe into the Delhi Deputy Chief Ministers, that is Manish Sisodia's activities in the alleged excise policy 2021-22 during the year 2021-22. The excise policy 2021-22 is under question now. Manish Sisodia house has been searched and many other parts of the locations in the whole country has been searched. So this CBI's search operations are going on and Manish Sisodia expects an action soon. What does this portray? The involvement of Enforcement Directorate and Central Bureau of Investigation for vested interest of the central government is visible. The state agencies, the central agencies are always used to harass the democratically elected governments in many parts of the country. What happens is that its success in Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party's success in Delhi for the consecutive the Delhi elections, assembly elections, and its success in Punjab assembly elections, the Delhi government is claiming that Aam Aadmi Party is claiming that it is a corruption-free government, and it is going on supporting the central acts and the laws against the corruption. However, the central government, the BJP at the center, is always out and out to harass the Aam Aadmi Party's efforts to provide a corruption-free government. In Gujarat also it is going on. The Aam Aadmi Party is going on doing so many good for the people for the forthcoming elections to as a show up for the forthcoming elections. This has really irked BJP. This has really made the BJP a very angry one at the Aam Aadmi Party's movements. So now it is the turn to show the portray Aam Aadmi Party's government at Delhi as a corruption-full government. This is the thing going on. The title of the editorial is Spirited Battle. How beautifully the title has been given. Spirit means alcohol. Spirit is a component of alcohol. And when the Delhi government is saying that 9,500 crores of revenue it is going to get from the alleged excise policy 2021-22, the battle for getting the Aam Aadmi Party government at Delhi tainted as corrupted is very huge. That is why the title of the editorial is Spirited Battle. Remember, spirit and battle. This is going on in Delhi. Then fight for survival. We all know of Somalia. It is at the Horn of Africa. Why Horn of Africa? The place where the location of Africa towards the eastern side of Africa where Somalia is located is looking like the horn of a bull. That is why it is called as Horn of Africa. There are some countries which are located at the Horn of Africa. I will discuss about it later. Somalia got its elected president and the elected legislature earlier this year. Somalia has been under civil war since 1991 after the ousting of then President Said Barre. After Said Barre's exit, Somalia has been facing lots of economic crisis and political crisis. And out of the humanitarian crisis in Somalia, Al-Bahab, a Al-Qaeda faction, has cropped up in Somalia. So this Al-Bahab, the terrorist outfit, took the civil war and humanitarian crisis into the exploitative mode and has developed its footprints in Somalia. It is collecting more than the government of Somalia as funds and just encouraging the terrorist activities. Somalia it's elected its president Hussein Sheikh Mohamud in the 2022, the earlier months of 2022, and Somalia now has elected a democratically elected government. And Somalia is going on extending the financial, the political, the economical, and the humanitarian aids in the Somalia nation. However, the allegations are that the Somalian aid is not extending beyond its capital. The capital of Somalia has recently witnessed a terror attack by Al-Bahab on civilians and 20 people are killed. So this is what the humanitarian crisis still going on in Somalia. Therefore, the resolution of this the humanitarian crisis lies at tactfully tackling the terror outfits which are finding a place in Somalia. Therefore, the pan-Somalia policy of the government is at the need of the hour. The moving on to the business line, the discredited committees. is referring to the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, which is the regulator of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, has recently stated that the Committee of Creditors are not interested in resolution plans, that is, revival of the companies which they have taken up. They are just interested in collecting their dues and then leading the companies to liquidation. So, what happens is that the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India is the regulator of the insolvency and bankruptcy actions on companies in India. When an company becomes a defunct or the credits, it has long dues to the creditors and it is no longer a going concern, that is, it is no longer able to operate, the insolvency and bankruptcy law is applied to it on the request of the Committee of Creditors in the NCLT. NCLT is the National Company Law Tribunal, which is looking into the matters of insolvency and bankruptcy code. The insolvency and bankruptcy code has come since 2016 to revive the companies which are in the danger of going into liquidation, because the companies they are having lots of debts and which they cannot bear. Therefore, the Committee of Creditors are applying to the NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, and getting the order of insolvency and bankruptcy code applicable to the company. Then the Committee of Creditors remove the management of the company and they try to revive the company. That is the objective of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. They appoint the resolution professionals. Resolution professionals are the professionals who carry out the insolvency and bankruptcy process. That is, they manage. The resolution professionals are professional persons who come as the management, who are appointed as the management of the company and then run the company to its success. The going concern status of the company must be ensured by the resolution professionals. However, often it has been seen that 47% of the cases in India, the insolvency and bankruptcy process which is involved by the resolution professionals, the Committee of Creditors, often seen that it has become a failure and going into dissolution. When the insolvency and bankruptcy process, that is management of the sick company, fails, the company goes into liquidation. There is a huge delay which has been observed since 2016. There is a huge delay, that is 330 days to 440 days in the insolvency process which is going on. The most responsibility, the onus of responsibility lies on Committee of Creditors to speed up this process. The NCLT is also lagging the insolvency process. So what is now the solution is that the insolvency process must see that more and more companies are getting revived than going into liquidation. So what is required now is that the prudent approach from the Insolvency Committee of Creditors. Committee of Creditors are the group of creditors who are appointed, group of creditors to the company, those who have provided finance to the company. Those are appointed as the Committee of Creditors to appoint the resolution professional and see to it that insolvency process goes on as required. The Committee of Creditors must be very much transparent in selecting the resolution professionals. Often it has been seen that vested interests are there in selecting the resolution professionals, and on the committee of creditors part, the committee of creditors have been found to be just interested in collecting the dues, collecting their dues rather than making any changes to the company so that the survival of the company and the going concern of the company is given a fillip. So all these matters have to be there. Insolvency and bankruptcy code is a very good ecosystem, that is revival ecosystem. However, the business line is saying that its players like resolution professionals, the committee of creditors, all have to give some kind of encouragement for the revival of the company and play their parts very well. Friends, I have come to the conclusion of today's analysis of the three key articles, two from the Hindu and the one from the business line. Hope you enjoyed this discussion. Tomorrow I'll come to you with some more analysis on the like front. Till then, take care. Bye. Good night.